Welcome back to the JSFL. We are here week 7, Monday night prime time, to wrap up the week. Not one of the most anticipated games by the fans, but the two of the teams are very hyped up here as we have the 4-2 Phenix gilamonsters who are on a 2-game losing streak against the 1-5 Cleveland Pirates.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on.
Sorry, we're not listening to the other actual commentators. But we are here in Cleveland, as this is a pretty good game. We'll see if the Phoenix gilamonsters can snap their losing streak or the Cleveland Pirates will plummet here in their own home stadium. But we have Monday Night Football, and here comes out the teams. Cleveland not a really anticipated team to go into the playoffs, as they're at the bottom of their division, which is probably the third best division in the league, I'd say, for competition. Mostly dominated by Detroit by 2 games, but because Minneapolis lost their Week 7 game against the Charlotte Bats. But Cleveland is really far behind. If they want even a shot in the wild card, they need to start winning games. And they're hoping to start that streak tonight here in their home stadium. As we will start it off tonight here in Cleveland. As the kickoff team will get ready here for Cleveland, and they will kick it off to Phenix. As it's been a pretty crazy week with some upsets. Many upsets here in this week. And the playoff picture so far has changed rapidly. We'll see if we'll have another upset here tonight. As gilamonsters looking for a road win. gilamonsters, it gets it out to a nice, really good starting field position to the 37. That's a really good place for Brian Tepps in the offense to start. For Brian Tepps' stats this season, not that bad. It's been 141 completions out of 194 attempts, 1,417 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. It's been a pretty good season for Tepps so far, but he's been losing the last couple games, so he's hoping to bring his team out of that rut hole they're in. And they're the number 1 team in the hunt right now, looking for a spot in the wild card. In the playoff picture. They could get it after this week, if a big game here, but who knows? Brian Tepps on 1st and 10, throws it. Oh, almost intercepted, but that's not going to happen. Key players for this offense for gilamonsters. The leader is Julio Jokes, 46 attempts, 294 yards, 5 touchdowns, 8 broken tackles, over 50 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns, and over 1 receiving yards in 1 game. So, Jokes is more of a receiver back than he is a running back. And then Tepps is the second in command, but here's 2nd and 10. But Jokes has fell off the MVP race a little, not completely, but he's fallen. Tepps on 2nd and 10. He's going to run it. He's going to try to juke here. Breaks the tackle, and he falls out of bounds at the 46. 3rd and 1 now after the good run by Tepps for 9 yards. Because they're hoping not to go 3 and out right away. And this 3rd down will test that. 3rd and 1 here. Tepps. Throwing, that's caught. 1st down, gilamonsters as they get it to the 48. And now it's on the Pirate side of the field. Hank Whoop to get a catch in. And it's nice placement over the head of the linebacker, I think that was, and right to Whoop. As we have another 1st and 10. Well, first and 10 for the gilamonsters. Tepps hands it off. Frank jukes, and he's up for a 16-yard run up to the 32. Nice run by Frank Jog and all Macy, the defensive end, to bring him down. As Jog got a juke, and he got another one, but he's finally bringing it down by the big D end, all Macy. As Frank Jog has been underlooked, as he hasn't got the big season he wanted, because Julio Jokes has got most of the spotlight, at least for the first half of the season. He had the spotlight. We'll see what Frank Jog can do in the second half of the season. 1st and 10. Tepps. Throwing that's caught up the middle, up into the red zone at the 13. He'll get dropped. As that was nice placing by Tepps, and Hank Whoop again corralled it. 2 receptions, 25 yards for Whoop. As he's been gained catches early. And they're putting emphasis on both sides, both air and ground so far, and that's good to start out with, I think. Tepps on 1st and 10, hands it up the middle, he's bopped at the 14. Frank Jog could get nowhere on that play besides 1 yard backwards, and Wesley Francis to bring him down. Jog nowhere to go, and Francis bopped him. Now we have 2nd and 11 for the gilamonsters. Still in the red zone. Brian Tepps, another handoff to Jog gets past the line, and he gets up to the 5. Nice blocking by the O-line on that part, and the receivers too. Jog had a wide open hole there, and he exposed it. Wilfred Manning was the one to bring him down in the end. Now they have a 3rd and 2 at the 5. So big play here. Who do they go with? Do they go with the air attack and Tepps? And he can also scramble, so not a terrible idea to go with the air attack, or do they try to win off the ground? We'll see here on 3rd and 2. They're going to use Tepps in the air. That's a caught up to the 3. Do they call it a first down? 1st and goal, they're going to call it. They say he got there. Chet Wood to get 2 yards in the 1st. And that's a pretty good first down, because that's the 1st and goal. I don't think Cleveland was expecting the air attack on that play, but it happened. Leo Patrick to bring him down, the corner. Chet Wood has the most receptions in the league, so he knows how to find the ball. 1st and goal now for the gilamonsters. Tepps hands it off. Frank Jog trying to get in there. He's going to be stopped a yard short. And we finally get to see this Cleveland Pirates defense. The 2 main players for the Pirates defense is Wilfred Manning, the strong safety, 27 total tackles, 10 assists, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 interception. And his backup is Wesley Francis, the one you saw hit Frank Jog, 29 total tackles, 15 assists, 1 tackle for loss, and an interception. Not too many stars on this defense, but just enough. Oh, no, wait, I forgot to say, Delay Bradell's, it's not, Wesley Francis. Delay Bradell's 23 total tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 5.56. On 2nd and goal, Jog goes nowhere besides backwards at the 6. As that's a great play by Cleveland as they pushed the gilamonsters back. Because they thought they could run it in, but the line got beat on that play. No, but the leader of the offense is Delibert Ellis, and the second in command is Wilfred Manning. My bad. 3rd and goal. See what the gilamonsters do here. Tepps. Throwing, that's caught. Touchdown, gilamonsters. The first team touchdown of the game for Christian Devil. Christian Devil, before this game, that's his first receiving touchdown of the season. He's had 12 receptions, 135 yards. as that's his first receiving touchdown of the year. What a play there by the gilamonsters. And now the PAT attempt is up, and it is good. Gilamonsters score first. As that was a nice play, nice drive by the gilamonsters. And we'll see what Cleveland Pirates can do on their first drive. As gilamonsters, let's look at their offense. They had the third best offense in the league, and their best category is receptions, third and first in the league. And for Cleveland's defense, it's 11th, the 11th best defense in the league, so not very good. And their best category is sacks and solo and tackling. Both 8 in those categories. Now we can see Danny Rodriguez. 100 completions, 152 attempts, 1,159 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. As he's had not that great of a start, if I'm being honest here. Not many touchdowns and too many interceptions for the amount of touchdowns he's had. Not that many completions or attempts, and not that many yards. As this offense struggles as they are. Let's see here. This offense is 11th in the league, but Danny Rodriguez on 1st and 10 hands it off, throws it to Ted Evans, and now we can see the Cleveland offense. Leading Cleveland's offense is running back Ted Evans, 111 attempts, 437 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 fumble, and 15 broken tackles, and a receiving touchdown. And behind him, Sheldon Larson, the tight end, 32 receptions, 351 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Now 2nd and 8 for Cleveland. Rodriguez, throwing, that's caught. Sheldon Larson gets the first down as he stretches his body. As that's 8 yards to start him off on the day. Now we have a 1st and 10 for the Pirates again. Well, 1st and 10, they hand it off to Evans for his first rush of the day. He goes nowhere. -1 yard on the play. Swallowed up by the gilamonsters. Alfred Ford to get in there. As they have the 10th best defense in the league. So two not that great defensive teams. As their best category is tackling, which is 7th in the league. Now we have 2nd 11 for the Pirates. Rodriguez. He's going to go down, sacked at the 26. Darryl shot to get in there as he shoots in for his 2nd sack of the season. The gilamonsters are getting to the quarterback. Are 9th in the league. So the bottom half of the league they are in. So not the best team at getting to the quarterback, but they've had their times they've got there. Third and 19. Rodriguez has a big play to have here. Throws it, barely gets it off. It's almost deflected, and he gets it to the 29, 3 yards. Is just not going to do it, as Ted Evans can't make any play at that time. As Eric protests the right outside linebacker to bring her down. Almost got batted down in the first place, but Rodriguez tried to get to Evans, and Evans had a long ways to go, and he was not going to make it. As As now we have a 4th and 16. As here comes on the punt team for Cleveland. As the punt gets off, and the gilamonsters take it from the 29, and he'll get his way up to the... Oh no, it's the 24. And he get his way up to the 25. 1 yard on the return. As that's Christian Dell, the guy that got the touchdown. As here comes back out the gilamonster offense. As they've struggled the last 2 games, as they've lost both last 2 games. Couldn't get themselves moving, but they still have the 3rd best offense in the league. And it was good getting that first touchdown there to show that it's still a good offense. And they're hoping to keep that pace for the rest of the game, which would be almost impossible. 1st and 10. Teps. Throwing, that's deflected. 4 for 6 on the early window for completions for Teps. Now there's a 2nd and 10. As the Pirates played good defense on that play. And here's a 2nd and 10 attempt from the 25. Teps hands it off, jog, makes a man miss, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage only. 3rd and 10 now as Cleveland's playing good defense right at the moment. See if they can do it for one more play. Third and 10 here at the 25. Teps. He tries to get the screen, and that's no good. Cleveland overwhelmed Teps, and that's going to be 4th and 10 as they go 3 and out on this drive. They go from a touchdown to not even getting a yard. So isn't that the change of the wind? 4th and 10 now for the gilamonsters as the punt team is on. The punt goes away, and now Cleveland will have their shot again. As that goes into the end zone, as that will be a touchback, and they'll start at the 20. I can't remember if I said so, I'm going to say it again. Cleveland's best offensive thing they do the best on offense is, let's see. Their best halfback yards, they're 7th in the league. Still bottom half, but the best in the bottom half. But they're 11th in the league on offense, so not going to be probably the half on anything. But their halfback yards are 7th in the league. Here we have 1st and 10 as Rodriguez throws it. That's caught at the 28. Hasn't missed a pass yet, so that's something to look up on. Mario Bowen gets his first reception. There was a nice catch for him there. Second and 2. Handoff Evans. That goes for 1st and 10. As his first quarter is running away pretty quickly, as there's less than 2 minutes in the first quarter. Rodriguez hands it off to Evans for 1st and 10, shedding some tackles up to the 38. 3 rushes, 10 yards now for Evans. His average is a little over 3 per carry now. This Thursday night we saw our first overtime game between New York businessmen and the New Orleans musicians. As that was a really good finish there by New Orleans as they break the businessman heart. But here on 2nd and 3, it's a throw to the back, and that gets up to the 40. As we finally get to see this Gila Monster defense. The Gila Monsters, their leader is Byron Baxter, the corner. 27 total tackles, 6 assists, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 sack, 1 interception. Oh no, he's the backup. He's the second in command. The first in command is Tony Amigo, the linebacker. 34 solo tackles, 3 assists, 6 tackles for a loss, 6 sacks, and that's Tony Amigo's stats. 3rd and 1 now for Cleveland. Hand off. That's a first down as Evans uses the line and he pushes forward. Eric Prost is getting a lot of tackles right now for the gilamonsters. As he has 31 total tackles so far this season. He actually forced the only team's forced fumble. He actually has their only fumble. Now in 1st and 10 again. Pirates hand off to Evans. He goes nowhere. Pushed back for -3 yards. As that was Daryl's shot as he's playing pretty good in the early game. As first quarter ends and we get to the second quarter. Phenix gilamonsters 7. Cleveland Pirates 0. As we're going to have man take over for a little bit. Grant Gahn and Charles Davis to commentate. The Dolphins are the Pirates and the Cardinals are the gilamonsters. You should know that by now if you watched.
Second and 13. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Well, throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
The Cardinals on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll drop to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They call him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get him into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw, and that is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And this will be touchdown across midfield at the 45-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. Now they'll run on the draw. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And this is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, basically bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game?